Hello, so today we're going to have a look at this. It's a Paia Fatman. The Paia, if you're not aware, is it's quite a well-known, well-renowned DIY synthesizer company that is still going today. We've covered the Paia drums and they're available to play at the museum, but this is something that was sent in. It's called the Paia Fatman. I think possibly it is still a running project. Yes, you can actually still get the kit for this. This has been put together reasonably well. I mean, it's not the greatest, cleanest thing, but it does the job, and apparently it works. From what Dia has said, is the regulator has been removed. This is a 7805 regulator. It's got a funky heat sink on it, and that seems to go right in here. You'll see there is actually a missing part there. So what we're going to do is, apparently it wasn't the problem. He had sorted out the problem, but then accidentally burnt the voltage regulator out. So we're first just going to plop in a new 7805 and see if it actually works, because it looks like he's already swapped some capacitors, so we might be in luck. So I'm going to first give it a bit of a clean, bit of a scrub with some spray of sorts, and then we're going to try and replace that and see if we can get it working. So if you look here, the voltage regulator actually goes right there. It's I'm guessing it's facing the same way as the others. Yeah, it is. So we're just going to pull the legs out. We're going to plop a new one in and then turn it on and see if it works. And if it doesn't, we'll have to think of another plan. Plop some solder onto it, a little bit more solder. Get the solder sucker. Suck that sucker up. Pop in a new 7805 with the funky heatsink. We're just going to use it anyway. Plonk it down into the holes. Lovely jubbly. Right, I guess it's time to plug it in and see what happens. Well, there's no actual signifier of what works and what doesn't, so we're going to have to plug it into something and see what it does, because right now it's got a light that's when it's on, but we haven't got any other way of seeing what it does. So let's plug it into something, shall we? Okay. Quite a bit of crosstalk. That's being bypassed by, oh God. Okay, I think we know what is going on here. For starters, you can see this solder joint right here. If I wriggle it, you can actually see it. You can actually see it moving. So we're going to start by solving that. Definitely that one. So plop a bit of solder on there. That looked like a capacitor that had been replaced. So it's all good. There's stuff like this happens. So I'm gonna look for the circuit board for a little bit, but first let's clean the potentiometers a bit. Let's pop some in, give them a wiggle. We don't seem to be getting any signal through the MIDI cable. Having a look, I found that a buffer chip, the 74HC14, this one right here, if we get it in focus, you may or may not notice there's a two to explodey bumps on there. The opto coupler for the MIDI, I've swapped that. It's a 6N138, but we still have no signal at that LED. So what we need to do now is check the schematic and then go from there, because we need to figure out where the LED is. We've got to get out flashing first. So now it's working. Let's plug it into the audio again and see what we get out of it. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, oh dear. Something's not quite right. Something's... So you'll notice that there's a bit of a weird like boom, boom. Well, I think what I'm going to do first, because I'm not sure what possibly might be causing it quite yet. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is swap these two big capacitors that are obviously wrong. They're 1000 microfarads and it says it's 100 microfarads, so it might just be, they might be fine and that might be alright. I haven't fully looked at the schematic at what they actually do. Plug in the audio. If you watch this, when I push a note, the 12 volt rail goes up a little bit. So there might be another capacitor first that we're going to look at on the 12 volt line. This is a very likely contributing factor. The ground, the central cable, the central leg on the TLOs, the central leg on the 7812 is snapped. So that might explain it. Let's fix that. Yes, it works. Now I need to tune it a little bit, calibrate the tuning, and then we should be able to jam, and we should be able to see what it sounds like. So there we go, it works now. Luckily, fingers crossed, we managed to solve all of the problems. It could have gone very wrong, it could have been broken more than that, so we're quite lucky. It's done, I've cleaned all the pots, we've fixed the circuitry. It sounds reasonably good, it's in tune now and everything. So the next step with this is to plug it into a couple of other things in a 19-inch rack, and this is going to be connected to the Cubase setup on the Atari. I think it's a 520 that we've got Cubase on. So if you want to come up and play on this on the Cubase, as it should be, because this is just like, it's just like a lovely 303 style old school groovebox kind of MIDI analog synthesizer basically. Yeah, if you want to come and use this, well you can. This museum's not obsolete. The next open days, out of season open days, are at the end of November. November the whatever it's called. It's the last weekend of November, that's the one. You can also download a sound pack of the arpeggios that we were just playing. There's like a 6 or 7 minutes worth that you can cut up and use to your heart's content from the Paia Fatman. Anyway, that's it. I'm Sam, and this museum is not obsolete. Have a lovely time. Toodly-doo.